one of the weapons used by the Tuatha Dé Danann, which proves to have a sort of a crucial part to play in the second battle of Moytura against the Fomorians, is a weapon called the Tathlum. It's a very sort of mysterious weapon. It's described as a concrete ball, but it's not just a concrete ball. It's a weapon that was made out of the enemy's brains, hardened with lime. It's really interesting. The reason it becomes crucial in the the second battle of Moytura is partly to do with the long-held prophecy that Balor of the evil blows, the Fomorian leader, as it were, the Cyclops, the single-eyed giant who seems to be some sort of a malign or malignant sun god. The prophecy stated that Balor would be defeated by a relative, specifically a grandson. And so when Lugh of the Long Arm, Lugh Lamhfada, Lugh Samhael Donach, challenges Balor in the second battle of Moytura, Balor says to his henchmen, lift up my eyelid, that I may see this chatterer who talks to me." And what follows then is critical in the whole outcome of the war between the Dé Dananns and the Fomorians. The attendants, this is from Charles Squire's, I'll give it its proper title. It's called here, this is a reprint, Mythology of the Celtic People. Originally published in 1912 as Celtic Myth and Legend, Poetry and Romance by the Gresham Publishing Company, London. So this is Squire. "The attendants lifted Balor's eye with a hook, and if the glance of the eye beneath had rested upon Lugh, he would certainly have perished. But when it was half opened, Lugh flung a magic stone which struck Balor's eye out through the back of his head. The eye fell on the ground behind Balor and destroyed a whole rank of thrice 9 Fomorians who were unlucky enough to be within sight of it." Now, I have a sort of a theory that this myth is at least partially inspired by astronomy. And thrice 9, 27, is a significant lunar number. It's roughly the number of days it takes for the moon to return to the same place in the sky, what we call a sidereal lunar month. And of course, if you think about Balor being the sun and the Tathlum or the brain ball possibly being the moon, if you think about the moon with its darker and lighter areas, maybe you could think of brains hardened with lime. An ancient poem has handed down the secret of this magic stone. It is there called a tathlum, meaning a concrete ball, such as the ancient Irish warriors used sometimes to make out of the brains of dead enemies hardened with lime. I wonder if that's related to an Irish word that I found in the Danann folklore. Tathlum, Tathlum, to subdue or to pacify, lull, discipline or tame. And certainly it could be said that Lugh pacified, well, he did more than pacify, he subdued the enemy Balor with the Tathlum. And here is the poem. Now the poem was translated from an ancient vellum manuscript by Eugene O'Curry and is here repeated by Squire. "A Tathlum, heavy, fiery, firm, which the Tuatha Dé Danann had with them. It was that broke the fierce Balor's eye of old in the battle of the great armies. The blood of toads and furious bears, and the blood of the noble lion, the blood of vipers and of Osmund's trunks, it was of these the Tathlum was composed. The sand of the swift Armorian sea, and the sand of the teeming Red Sea, all these, being first purified, were used in the composition of the Tathlum. Brian, the son of Bethar, no mean warrior, who on the ocean's eastern border reigned, it was he that fused and smoothly formed, it was he that fashioned the Tathlum. To the hero Lugh was given this concrete ball, no soft missile, in Mag Tuired of shrieking Wales. From his hand he threw the Tathlum." And an extension of the astronomical theory mentioned above is that Lugh may have been seen as a representation of the constellation Orion, which, with his upraised arm, appears to almost control, as it were, the movement of the sun and the moon and the planets along the ecliptic, because the ecliptic passes above Orion's upraised arm. And Lugh is also known as Lugh Lamhfada, Lugh of the long arm, sometimes translated as Lugh of the long throw, as if he's throwing weapons. This blinding of the terrible Balor turned the fortunes of the fight, for the Fomors wavered, and the Morrigu came and encouraged the people of the goddess Danu with a song beginning, "Kings, arise to the battle," so that they took fresh heart and drove the Fomors headlong back to their country underneath the sea. And thus it was that with this magical weapon, the Tathlum, the Tuatha Dé Danann routed the evil Fomorians.